Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building. You guys know what time it is, the AFC West roundup. We are back in full swing. Real football is here, you guys. It is officially week 1. I am with my bros. Ben, how we feeling, man?
Oh, it has been the longest offseason, and we are back. Denver Broncos have the biggest line in the NFL this week. We're about to just mollywop some Titans, watch the Chiefs and the Raiders lose. It's going to be a great week.
Hey, Darcy, I swear to God, bro, if the Broncos lose to the Titans, bro, we are never, ever going to allow Ben to ever like get away with anything moving forward.
This show will be canceled.
Oh, we're going to absolutely destroy you. Darcy, how we feeling, brother?
Man, I've got a lot of hate in my heart towards your teams that I'm about to just let go because I've heard a lot of BS over the past 2-3 weeks, and I'm just ready to just unload because I feel good. I feel confident, from everything that we've heard within the organization. Chiefs are ready to go. They got on a plane and flew 11 hours to Brazil. We got football on Friday. We got football tomorrow. I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped.
So we got the Cowboys, Eagles tomorrow, you guys. Football's officially back, and then the following day we do have the Chiefs and the Chargers in Brazil. So that is going to be the second game of the season. And we're going to start there. Dars, how is everything in Chiefs Kingdom or whatever y'all call it out there in Missouri?
Man, it's going well right now. I think there's a lot of optimism about the offense this year, kind of turning things around. As I've kind of dug in to do some research about this upcoming game, man, I would not be very confident if I was a Chargers fan. They basically had to move around their entire offensive line.
Yes.
They've got Ladd McConkey on offense, and then they've got a 75-year-old Keenan Allen. And it's just like their running back blew up a firework in his fucking face 2 months ago, and their other running back's a rookie. So I feel pretty good. But I'm excited. Like I said, I've got a lot of I'm ready to go. There's a lot of just BS that you hear the Chargers are going to win the division. I think I'm very confident when I say this. I think the Chargers are going to miss the playoffs.
Oh,
I'm not just saying that. I think last year they kind of got exposed, or not exposed, but they exposed the fact they didn't play a very good schedule. Things kind of went their way. I'm looking at it. They might get exposed this year.
I have to agree. I think they have a great head coach, but once again, the injuries continue to pile up for the Chargers. I don't know what it is in the offseason, what goes on with these guys. Slater's gone for the season. Najee dealing with the firework, but he will be ready to go come week 1 though. So
but not have played a single snap in the
Brazil,
preseason,
right?
dude. Have even carried the ball in training camp. I don't think you can't do that, right?
This is a guy that has not missed a game in his 4-year career, over 1,000 yards rushing every single season in Pittsburgh. He'll be fine. And once again, they have Amarion Hampton out there to be able to be that other guy that can, help him there. But I don't know if they're going to run Najee a ton, this week because of him missing so much football activities. But so what do we got going on out there? So it is 7 p.m. This is Central Time, my time for that game.
It'll be 9 in Brazil, I believe, because they're 2 hours ahead. So it'll be 9 p.m. there, which, I know athletes are different and they're probably used to getting up incredibly early, but I would rather play a game at 9 p.m. than 7 a.m. just personally. Yeah. But I think that one of the things that I've kind of learned just from, just starting a new job at the radio station, kind of get to hear a different perspective and a little bit of insider information. And also when you're just listening to the press conferences every day, you get kind of more backstory on what different guys go through. Yeah. Honestly, one of the biggest challenges, I think, is the plane ride for guys like Jawan Taylor. Last year, when he would get on a plane, his knee would swell up and he would have to get it drained before the game. And so that's something that there's some guys that Jalen Royals. Jalen Royals is dealing with knee tendonitis. Yeah. He's not going to play, but they didn't even let him travel. He's still in Kansas City.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm looking at this injury report for right now, and let me know if anything changed, Dars. Jalen Royals officially out with that knee injury. Najee Johnson, shoulder, IR.
He's on IR.
Yeah. Brandon George on the IR. Ethan Driscoll's on the NFI. Was it non-football related?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And then Rashee Rice, we already know what's going on with him with the suspension.
We heard the insider report there, no suspension, according to Michael Darcy. And then a few moments later. the 6 games that we all
I'll tell you
suspended.
what, there was some weird stuff around that. The whole, he's not going to be suspended for the first month. Then it's, he's actually going to be suspended for the first month. And Ben, I know you're a little bit upset because he's going to be back for when we play you guys.
Well, he'll be back the week you guys play us in Kansas City. Like, he's literally coming back that day. So I'm excited about it. But the Chargers don't really have that many injuries outside of Slater. I mean, they look pretty healthy. Eric Rodgers on the IR, Deion Leonard on the IR, Josh Harris on the IR, Junior Colson, the young linebacker out of Michigan, on the IR. But these guys, they were already working without these dudes anyway. Jordan, a lot of kind. I don't know even how to say his name.
And really quickly, just because I see the comment in the chat from J Raider 007, it's Mizzou hate week. F Mizzou. We hate Missouri here in this chat. I don't know about you guys. That's like our Ohio State, Michigan. Hate those people to the directions. Goodness gracious. God, I don't know where. Man, I don't even know where I am right now. But
let me ask you, Darce, how are you feeling right now going into Brazil week 1? Where's the optimism? Where's the confidence facing a team coming off of a playoff appearance in year 1 with Jim Harbaugh? Once again, I think that they had a pretty good draft. Amarion Hampton is a stud. I think Ben will agree with me that was a guy that we were both looking at in that draft in case, if we decided not to go Genty. I know that Denver was definitely keeping an eye on Amarion Hampton there in round 1 before you guys eventually went and got RJ Harvey in the second round. But where's the optimism? Where's the confidence? And what is the energy surrounding that organization right now going into Brazil week 1?
Dude, the optimism and the confidence is kind of at an all-time high right now. We feel really comfortable about the offense this year. For the first time, presumably in years, Mahomes is actually going to have some stability on that left side with Josh Simmons anchoring down the left side of the line. So we feel good going into Brazil. And I've said this all week. The Chiefs are better than the Chargers. On paper, they're the better team. It's not really even that close. But since this game is a divisional game, you have to take it seriously because divisional games are always close, similar to, rivalry games in college football. It doesn't matter if one team is favored by 7 points or 2 touchdowns, it means more. So you're going to see a close game. And so that's why I respect the Chargers in this game, because they are a divisional opponent. They play the Chiefs tough. But man, I mean, I think the Chiefs have more talent all across the board. I was looking at the Chargers defense. I mean, their pass rush was all right last year. Khalil Mack just got a year older, and their secondary, outside of Derwin James, who's hobbled and broken at, again, 45 years old, they don't really have anybody that really, I think, commands a lot of respect.
Well, dude, so I think the Chiefs Poona Ford was the highest graded player on the Chargers on defense last season. He's gone.
Yeah, it was the Rams, right?
Yeah, and then you're looking, they lost Asante Samuel Jr.'s, they lost Bosa, they lost Christian Fulton to you. So that was already a decent defense, but they definitely lost 3 starters off of it without adding to it. And then losing Slater is going to be tough.
Give me some
fine. Like, we feel confident. I was just going to say, the expectation is to take care of business.
Yeah. I mean, let's not act as though this team did not get better in the offseason, though. I thought that they had a really good draft. I think that Jim Harbaugh is going to work wonders with Trey Lance. We're not going to see him because Herbert's their guy. But, once again, they added Najee Harris with Amarion Hampton. That ground game is definitely going to get better this year. They went and got Keandre Lambert-Smith. I've been hearing really good things about him. Q is still struggling to catch the football out there in L.A. Keenan Allen is back home. He's going to be starting for them. But also, a guy that I like a ton in Trey Harris, the young kid out of Ole Miss. But once again, that O-line got shook up with Slater being out. Look at this offensive line right now, you guys. Joe Alt is at left tackle. Zion Johnson at left guard. Brantley Bozeman. Mekhi Becton, which we don't know what he looks like outside of, Philadelphia. He may resort back to that Jets version.
And 2 surgically reconstructed knees. That at that frame, how do you think that 12-hour flight goes? Not good.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what, one thing that I looked at a lot this week is that even last year with a healthy offensive line, do you remember how the Chargers season ended?
4
that wild card
for
game
Herbert.
in Houston.
Couldn't get the rock on.
Yeah. But I'm looking. I don't think that they really got better in key positions where they struggled last year. You look at the cornerback group, right? They got Tarheeb Steele, Cam Hart,
Monte Jackson.
They got Gilman out there. Elijah Molden, who played really well for them last year, but I think that they could have really invested in that cornerback group. You know, they got Dante Jackson, like you said, Derwin James out there, and RJ Mickens, the young kid out of Clemson. But they got older. Khalil Mack, 1 year, fully guaranteed. I think this is it for him. He's retiring after this year. They got Bud Dupree, who's up there in age as well. Denzel Perriman, my guy, friend of the show. Salute to him. I actually talked to him after that whole gun situation happened. He's in good spirits. He'll be playing out there with the young Henley and Troy Dye, those guys at the linebacker position. But I agree. I think on paper, you guys are absolutely a way better team on both sides of the football. Give me 3 X factors in this game and some keys to victory, Darcy, going into Brazil. You guys want to escape. Once again, this is a tough place to play. Different time zone, different country, different content. This is going to be a difficult game for both you guys. That's why I feel like I'm still leaning towards the Chiefs, but this is a tough assignment for both you guys to travel that far in a divisional game where Harbaugh and Andy Reid both want to cut each other's heads off. Give me some key victories or keys to victory. Give me a few X factors on both sides of the ball.
When really quickly, I feel like my counter to that is with Andy Reid, just look at what they've done in tough situations. Like when they had to go to Germany, they were ready. When they had to, play in negative 10-degree weather, they were prepared. And so, like you cannot fully expect the, conditions of the field and all that stuff, the uncontrollable stuff in Brazil. But there's not been a better coach in the NFL at controlling the things that they can control than Andy Reid. And I think that's a huge advantage over Harbaugh. And I think he's a great coach. But again, there's just not been someone better at controlling the variables they can control. And that's why the Chiefs have been so successful. But to kind of answer the question, what are some X factors? I think the Chiefs need to take care of the football. That's kind of, self-explanatory. Mm-hmm. I want to see them actually, look dynamic offensively. And Rasheed Rice isn't going to play. So there's a little bit of a handicap with that. But I think you've got more talent this year than you've had in years prior. The level of expectation this year is that the offense bounces back. And I think that if it doesn't bounce back, we'll have to have some conversations. But we want to see the offense kind of regain some of that explosiveness. I think defensively, you've got to stop the run. And one of the things that we haven't had a chance to talk about, the Chiefs released defensive tackle Mike Pennell and traded for Derek Nottie. Don't know what the thought process was there. I disagree with it. I thought Pennell was a better run stuffer than Nottie. So we'll have to see how they adjust to, Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers offense that's probably going to run the ball down their throat. So
and Norman's not known to play the run as well. Like he's a guy that gets to the quarterback coming out of Tennessee.
You know what? They tried to beef him up to be someone that could stop the run, and he got hurt, and it just didn't work out. So I think that's why they traded for Derek Nottie, because they're like, okay, I think what the Pennell thing was his age. He's in his mid-30s, and they didn't like that. But I think that's a little bit flawed because it's you knew he was old as shit before the season, and you signed him in free agency. So I don't really understand why that happened. But
real quick, Darce. Hey, if we have any mods in the chat, get this. I don't even want to do it. Somebody do the honors, please. Yes, this is a Raiders channel. Do you see all the Raiders shit and the tats and all that? We talk ball over here. This is the AFC West show. Okay, we do this once a week. I don't know. I've never seen your name in the chat before. I cover the Raiders every single day, and we're gonna have an opportunity to talk about our team here in a second. But you know what, I'm kind of in a just off safety kind of mood. If there's
I've been cranky. I've been cranky today. So kick
it. Yeah. I'm just not feeling it. So somebody smoke him, please. If there's a mod in the chat, just take his life right now. I'm cool. I don't want to deal with this shit because once again. We do this weekly. We have been an AFC West family for over a year now. This is what we do. This is the AFC West roundup, okay? If you want to watch Raiders shit, we'll be back in the morning. We'll be live for the game on Sunday, where we do coffee and convos every morning. Once again, I don't want to hear that goofy ass shit. These my guys. Respect it. Keep it moving.
What I was going to say, you guys are lucky he's talking Raiders at all. You guys won 4 games last year. Maybe if you win 5 this year, we'll keep talking about it.
Hey, don't rile them up, dude. They all have neck tattoos. I
I just muted him, bro. Don't even worry, man.
Yeah.
Darcy can't say anything for the rest of the show. See, I'm over here trying to look out for my guys, and I get shot in the back while I do it. It's just nasty work out here from our little bro. But I expect that. I expect it. It's all good. But let's do this. Let's give some bold takes with the Chiefs game. How do you feel Mahomes is going to perform, and how is that running game looking like? I'm not hearing a ton about that ground game out there in KC right now. How do you feel about that, and how do you think those guys are going to perform? Because they got rid of Carson, right? Cut him.
Yeah, thank God. I can't believe that it
Darcy,
was
bro,
like
you can't. You were so on him last year, bro.
What?
You can't. I got to go find the clips. You thought he was like Riggins from Friday Night Lights. You're like, Texas forever. No. Look at his hair. I just want to run my hands through his hair.
He was a great story last year. He was a great story. He was the UDFA that made one of the best teams in the NFL. It's a great story.
You loved him like Travis loves Taylor, bro. You know it.
And we haven't talked about that either. There's been a lot of stuff going on in Chiefs Kingdom.
I think that's the key to victory. If Taylor goes to Brazil,
yeah, she needs one.
She needs one. What?
Yeah, she needs the Brazilian butt lift. She needs a good, nice little BBL out there.
Oh, yeah, and I don't actually think they do those in Brazil.
They do.
Yeah, Darcy, sounds like you know a lot of this.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, there's nothing more authentic. The real Brazil butt lift is in Brazil. You know what I mean? Look, I know out here they do a few of them in Motel 6 and put some concrete in some asses and some nasty Americanized shit. Go to Brazil, Taylor Swift. Go out there and get the real deal Holyfield. Because I see all the stuff, Darcy, about Kelsey fumbled his last girl. Even my wife thinks that she's gorgeous. But he is with a billionaire, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
but how?
Where did we go?
I don't even know where the hell we
went.
We're just about to ask now. But let's do some. Give me a score prediction and let me know who balls out for you guys on both sides of the ball.
I think it's 24-17 Chiefs. I think this is probably a game where they're up for most of it. You're never really sweating it. Maybe the Chargers pull within a score towards the end of the game in the fourth quarter, and then they score another touchdown to just kind of make it look closer than it actually was.
Yeah.
I have the Chiefs winning this game. I think that it's going to kind of take some time for the offense to get up to true form, but I think that you're going to see them score 24 points, and I think it's going to look a lot more efficient than it did last year. And honestly, with the field conditions, get out of there without any injuries, all the ACLs intact, and I'll be happy.
Who steps up at the wide receiver position with Rice out?
I actually think my hot take is Juju. I think Juju, in the absence of Rice last year, went off for like 8 catches or something for $110 against the Saints. And so I could see him. I could also see, Xavier Worthy's going to be the de facto number 1 wide receiver when, Rice isn't playing. But I think that, the Chargers play tight zone coverage. I think Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be able to eat underneath and kind of find the soft spots. Yeah. It's also, don't put it past Travis Kelce. For years, he's killed soft zone coverage. Isn't that right, Ben? Isn't that right?
Dude, he had 3 touchdowns last year. He's like 36 years. Bro, I just don't understand. They're going to be more dynamic than last year when you don't know who your first string running back is. You lost
What
Tooney.
Are you talking about?
Bro,
wait.
Your running back room is atrocious. How can you say you're better and then you lost wide receiver 1? So how are you going to, in what world can you lose an all-pro guard and say your offensive line got better because you got a backup from the San Francisco 49ers and a guy who's
not
we don't
playing,
know if
by
he's
the
coming.
way.
Well, we don't know if it, well, then you shouldn't have paid him all that money if he's not paying or not playing in this game.
Talk.
And you made a risky move to get a guy from a patellar injury that hardly anyone comes back. We'll see how he does after that plane ride. You're not more dynamic.
I think you're going to regret that. I think you'll find out very quickly that this offense looks different. They look different in the preseason game. Even just the one series that we saw in that third one, it's like, I've seen all I need to see. I was like, I saw what I needed to see. And we had guys like Jason Brownlee making catches, who made the team, by the way. This team offensively is much different than it was last year. I think you'll see.
Yeah, I don't think anyone without red glasses who are in prison see the difference, bro. Graphk, who are you rooting for, and who do you think wins this game?
I hope that Bane comes through and blows up the field like he did in the Batman movie, and both teams just dissolve. So I don't have a team, but I will say this, and I want the chat to get involved here as well.
Yeah.
Put some score predictions in the chat, you guys. I have the Chiefs winning 31-21. I think they win by 10. They're the better football team. Honestly, when you got Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, and there's a lot of moving parts with the Chargers right now, a bunch of new bodies in the building. I need to see it to believe it, and I do believe that the Chargers are going to be the team in the AFC West this year that are going to come down to reality the most. There's not too much reality that we can come back down to. We're 4-13 last year. So I think the Chargers are definitely going to come down, and I got the Chiefs 31-20.
Who would make you happier? Like, who should we be rooting for? Like you and I.
Well, we don't have a Chargers guy because, Garbage didn't show up today. He had some shit he had to do. But look, if I had to, I'm going for the Chargers because fuck Darcy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
here's the thing, Graphk. You just predicted the Chiefs score 30. In what world do the Chiefs score 30 and not be offensively dynamic? They didn't score 30 like at all last year. It was like,
let me say
18, 23, disgusting final.
You still have Andy Reid, one of the greatest offensive minds to ever coach football. You have Patrick Mahomes, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And then you're playing a Chargers defense that I'm looking at, and I'm not afraid at all. So this is more about what the Chargers lack. Well, let me say this. I got to give Mahomes and Andy Reid their flowers, but I just think that the Chargers don't have what it takes defensively to get it done against you guys. I think that Patty and those guys are going to come out and just go crazy week one. I do.
But they did twice last year. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think you guys are going to find out. You can clip this, whatever. I think having a serviceable, I'm not going to say he's elite yet because that would be foolish, but having a serviceable left tackle and Hollywood Brown to start the season is already a number 2 or 3 wide receiver and a solid left tackle you didn't have last year to start the year.
I think Chris Jones just feasts on this offensive line week one, honestly, man. And I think that even George may get a sack or two, because once again, man, you lose Slater, one of the better tackles in football. That is a tough assignment to overcome. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of moving and shaking. When you look at this offensive line on paper, you guys, it is not scary at all. Zion Johnson, I was high on him coming out of Boston College, and he's just not been great at the NFL level. Bradley Bozeman, once again, Mekhi Becton, that we all can agree, we got to see that to believe it, right? Like with him and Trey Pipkins the third, at right tackle, like what are we doing here? I think that defensive line thrives, and maybe the young kid Norman goes out there and gets a few, gets to the quarterback once or twice as well. I just think the Chiefs are a better team, and I think the Chargers are just not that really good. Ben, what you got?
Yeah, give me the Chargers just because it's what I want super bad, and
I love it.
Yeah, I just I will say that how the Chargers prepped by like resting starters, like Omarion Hampton got very few carries. He didn't look good. He tried to do to the Lions what he did in college, and that didn't work.
Very vanilla, Ben. Very vanilla.
Yeah,
Very vanilla.
I still.
You said it about Genty.
Yeah,
you hit me up, and
totally.
I still got the text. And Darcy, you know that you've seen the evidence. I don't know anymore, man. I'm not afraid of this team like I was.
Graphk, I told you. I was like, Genty's gonna be fine. I was like, Genty's gonna be perfectly fine.
Yes. We're fixing to find out real quick here, but yeah, give me Chargers 21-17, and that'd be awesome. It doesn't matter obviously for this, but is this a home game for you that you blew? Okay, so that's nice for you that you don't have to waste a home game going to Brazil. So
I did see this. I don't know if it was true. There was a few people on Twitter yesterday speculating about a situation that happened with Mekhi Becton. I didn't know it was him shitting his pants and possibly getting suspended. I didn't know that.
Well, what's kind of crazy, do you guys remember Mark Schlereth? Yeah. So his nickname in Denver is Stink because he literally would defecate and try to smell so that a defensive lineman would not try to like get past you. So
Robert Gallery would do that with the Raiders.
Yeah.
So I know he'd piss and shit himself and just look at the defenders right in their eyes like, come on.
Come at me. You want some of this.
You guys are freaks. And guess what?
No, you know who loves that? Christian Wilkins
hasn't resulted in a lot of winning.
For Christian Wilkins is like catnip. Christian Wilkins like, you smell so good. Let me get up on that. So that's why they had to stop doing it.
Yo, no Wilkins talk, man. No Wilkins talk. Okay, we're still struggling in the nation right now. With the interior of that defensive line. We're hoping that Thomas Booker, our guy that came over from Philadelphia, can show up and show out for us. Let's get to the Denver game here. All right, yeah. Denver in Tennessee. So you guys are traveling, right? This is on the road.
No home game. So
it's a home game.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So you're facing the worst team in football. I mean, and when you look at this roster all across the board, defensively and offensively, it's just bad. And I know a guy that covers the Titans on ESPN, and he's a beat writer, content creator, and all that other stuff. And I follow him very closely because I want some of those guys that went out. I want Cam Ward to succeed. You always want these young guys to go out there and play lights out, right? I love the receiver they drafted out of Stanford, Eric. Always butcher his last name, but but this is one of the worst teams on paper, Ben, in football. And they're coming to a place where it's going to be a hostile environment in Denver. You guys are coming off of a playoff berth. All the talk around Bo Nix, is the sophomore slump thing going to happen? We've talked about it. Sean Payton, praising his young quarterback, spending some time with Drew Brees in the offseason and all that good stuff. I mean, I think everybody at this point has Denver beating Tennessee at home. You look at this injury report, specifically with the Titans, Kevin Winston Jr., hamstrings questionable. Dan Moore Jr., the offensive tackle, questionable. L'Jarius Sneed, you're very familiar with him, Darce. The big, pickup for them a year ago out there in Tennessee, the corner, questionable. Spears, that hurt them a lot. I think they're going to struggle to run the football against you guys, with Tony Pollard. I don't think they even have another guy that can come in and work behind him, pause if necessary. Like, they're going to struggle to run the football against this great defense in Denver. And then Anthony, is it Orji? Pause if necessary. The linebacker, he's on the IR with a knee ACL injury as well. You're looking at Denver already, Ben. Dre Greenlaw, what's going on?
Yeah, man. That just popped up today, and
it's almost like signing an injury-prone linebacker was maybe gonna hurt you.
Yeah,
questionable already. Dealing with the quadricep injury. Christian Williams is on the IR. We knew this. Drew Sanders, a guy that I was really high on coming out of Arkansas, on the IR with a foot injury. Nate Atkins, the tight end, out with an ankle injury, and then Michael Burton is on the IR as well with the hamstring issue. But you guys are fairly healthy, and there's a situation that you want to talk about a little bit about. Your edge rusher. It looks as though,
seems as if Nick Bonitto is about to get that bag. Just the way George Payton has handled this entire offseason with, we had 4 dudes coming into the season on the end of their contract, and when you see dudes in Vegas saying, trade me or get me out of here. You see lots of holdouts all over the league, and you just see Broncos players trusting the organization to do the right thing. And for the most part, it's happened as Sean Payton sneaky moves.
Hey, Darcy, you see how
I'm waiting to explode.
No, but real quick, you see how I hit him with a scoop this morning, and now he just shit on me?
No, I mean, not on you, on the Raiders, not on you, Graphk.
That's me.
No,
that's me.
Well, it's you.
You are a disgusting human
Graphk,
being.
Your identity is not a 4-win football team.
You're way more than that.
You're at least an 8-win.
You're way more than that.
You're better than this, Graphk. but once again, it looks as though there's a deal in place with Nick Bonitto, and rightfully so. Somewhere in that 26, 27 million per year range. I think it's like 107, 110, 4 years. I'm just speculating here, but we got some intel over here. We know a few good people that like to give us some good news. You know what I mean? And this is big news for Denver, Nick Bonitto, because all these edge rushers have been getting paid. I mean, Darcy, you guys had George, we had Max, look at Michael. We got
Parsons
47 a year. So for you guys to get Nick Bonitto at half of that is an absolute steal for that team. But how are you feeling right now going into week 1 against Tennessee at home?
Yeah, man, I am nervous because I'm so confident. It's crazy, dude. The vibes in Denver right now are just off the chart. And I just think on paper, we match up perfectly. I love playing a rookie on the road against one of the best defenses in football. Week number 1, he threw 19 times in the preseason. The advanced analytics came out on the routes he threw, and he threw 4 different routes the whole preseason. So, a dude like Pat Surtain, who's defensive player of the year, is going to be feasting, and he's going to know what the route is before Cam Ward might even. Like Mile High is going to be louder than we've heard it since that Patriots game in the divisional round 10 years ago. Like it's already sold out. And I mean, it's going to be a hyped up environment and a really tough place for a rookie to go in and win.
What's the word on RJ Harvey, your second round guy, and also Jahdae Barron? I've been hearing some really great things about Barron out there on the defensive side of the ball. He'll be your starting nickel, right? Or am I wrong? Okay.
So, I mean, Sean Payton's so weird about the depth chart, like he lists all the rookies at the very bottom of that on the initial one and climbs them up. So the official depth chart has our new running back, RJ Harvey, as running back 2 and has J.K. Dobbins being the lead rusher in there. But from what we saw in the preseason, RJ Harvey took all the snaps, like the first snap. So it doesn't really matter who's listed 1 or 2. And then as far as how Jahdae looked, he looked phenomenal. Yeah. Like he was giving absolutely no space, and he wasn't contesting catches, but like he was in the pocket. And I think the stat over the preseason was he allowed something like 3 total yards after the catch. So he was like in dude's hip pocket, which, as you hear about progression for a cornerback, it goes from that to like, okay, now I'm going to take a risk and make a play on the ball instead of just dropping him as soon as he catches it. And he never got beat. You just hear Pat Surtain talk about like the raw skill set that he has. And then just hearing more and all the videos leaking of the Broncos draft room when he fell all the way to us, that George Paton and Sean Payton were like, we never thought he'd be available. And they could have drafted a running back with that first pick. But Payton's quote ahead of the draft was like, you never skip on China because you need a blender. So like if you have like a sweet piece there, like a top 10 draft pick, you don't go out for need, you get the best player available there and then pick up your running back later. So
what are you worried about the most, Mr. Hopium? Like, give us something with this team, because I know I can. I know Darcy's arrogant ass is still going to hype up the Chiefs about everything as well. But give us something that you may be worried about going into week 1, because this could be a game, Ben, and I'm not, I have Denver winning this game. I mean, by a landslide. But if you guys lose this game at home against the Tennessee Titans with a rookie quarterback in his first action, there may be a major problem with Sean Payton and this organization. Yeah. So give us some things that you're potentially worried about. You did state that Dobbins is going to be the starter, and I'm looking at the depth chart now. Him, then Harvey, then Tyler Beatty, then Jaleel McLaughlin.
Yep.
But is there anything that you're worried about, going into week 1, looking at this roster?
Yeah, I also see my main man, Jason, my mod father's in the house. So maybe he hit something. What are you worried about, Jason? I think I'm worried for sure about the Dre Greenlaw thing. That was a player who was like a full go in camp, and that we know Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch both flew out to try to convince him to stay there. And he came totally healthy. And then it was halfway through training camp, he got burned on a play by J.K. Dobbins and got like super fired up and sprinted just took off like a bat out of hell to try to catch him and hurt his quad. And then he's just been kind of in bubble wrap since then. And everyone thought he'd be good to go. So I'm worried about like the long-term health of him. I'm not necessarily worried about that for this week. Like I think we beat the Titans without him, but man, if we want to make the deep playoff run, we need that inside linebacker shored up for sure. But then for this game, I'm worried about, we've heard a lot about this running game and how Sean Payton is going to get it going. Will he actually commit to running the ball? You guys remember the Chargers Thursday night game last season when the camera zoomed in on Sean Payton's play sheet and he wrote "run the ball" really big at the top, and then he never did. And we were up huge. And if we would have just run it, we would have won. And they came back and beat us because Sean Payton, I think he wants to prove he was right on Bo Nix so much that he's not patient with the run game. And we haven't had a 100-yard runner in a game since Latavius Murray. Yeah. And our run game did not get going in the preseason like we want it to. I don't want.
And you got rid of Odrick too, which is very, very interesting. Like immediately,
totally.
Like he's still really, really young. So Sean must have seen something out there. Did he get signed? Did he get picked up anywhere?
Yeah, practice squad though for the Eagles. So he didn't get picked up on anyone's 53. So,
but you know what? That's going to be a potential great situation for him. He can learn behind one the greatest running back in the NFL. Darcy, how do you feel about this game, man?
Man, this is some BS. You guys are going to beat the Titans. And honestly, knowing Sean Payton, he's probably going to want to stick it to him because why not just beat down I was going to call the Titans like the disabled kid, but like what, like the Titans, man, they're not even a challenge. So it's just like, yeah, you're going to go take care of business. And I'm going to have to get on YouTube and hear Ben go, Bo Chapman Nix is MVP. And it's just going to make me want to pull my hair out.
Is my voice that loud?
It definitely is.
I mean, okay.
But dude, like I can already hear Ben bringing up the stats of Bo Nix against the Titans defense. And I think if I really tried, I think I could start at nose tackle. So like, I don't understand what you're going to learn from this game. In fact, I think you guys are kind of in a lose-lose situation. You win, well, you were supposed to win. You lose or you don't look good. Man, that sucks for you guys. There's really, problems going on in Denver right now.
Yeah.
I think that, you guys should take care of business against the worst team in the NFL.
I think that they're the only team in the division this week that needs to go out and blow the doors off this team. So with the Raiders, right, we're 4-13 last season. The Patriots 4-13 last season. We're traveling far east. That's always a difficult task, regardless of who you're facing. KC's going to Brazil facing a playoff team in the Chargers. This needs to be a team, Ben, where you're at home coming off of a big year last year. You have to go out there and set the tone early because this could be a backbreaker in week one. And once again, I'm not going to jump the gun and say, you lose one game and your season is over because that's far from the truth. But this is the type of game you have to win. You have to beat this team.
Totally.
Give me a prediction score wise and give me some bold takes, maybe from Bo Nix or one of these young receivers, maybe, Pat, that's my guy, Pat Bryant, maybe. But give me some bold takes.
Yeah. The Titans defense, guys, is actually like sneaky good. I think it was the second for yards allowed last year. Like they look it up, man. But like when you look up the actual stats, they were I think my prediction, let's see Bo Nix for 4 touchdowns this game, pick up where he left off. And then I think the breakout player for this year that was the shining star of camp. You guys remember how high I was on Devon Bailey, the 7th round guy that Darcy said wasn't going to be any good. And then he was Bo Nix's second favorite target, broke his ribs, missed a bunch of games, but he still was phenomenal last year. And we traded him for a 4th and a 7th because Sean feels so good about this receiving core and especially the breakout candidate, Troy Franklin. They were connecting all training camp. I went to training camp and it was like a fireworks show. So I was like, oh, I hope Najee Harris isn't here because like they were putting it up and like
Troy's starting the slot for you guys, right?
Yeah, I mean he's moving all over. He has all the routes down. He switched back to his college number, and Sean felt good enough about him and Pat and Marvin Mims to trade away Devon Bailey.
You don't feel good about a player if you trade him so soon. Hate to be that guy, but you just don't.
No, he feels so good about everyone behind him. Like, hey, we don't need him. He's not even gonna be able to suit up.
That just says like he wasn't good enough. That's what I'm saying.
If the Saints were willing to give up a 4th and a 7th, he was good enough. And Sean's saying like he's not.
Man, don't bring the Saints
irrational
there was 3 teams
into this. There was 3 teams in on the bidding, which is how he was able to drive it up and get more for him than the Raiders got for Devontae Adams or the Browns gave us for Jerry Jeudy. So he was good, and he wasn't good enough to make this team.
This may be a one-dimensional offense this week because you did mention the Titans defense is pretty sneaky. They do run that 3-4. It's going to be tough to run the ball on this team. You got Tavondre Sweat up front. You have Jeffrey Simmons, one of the better defensive tackles in football. You know what I mean? And then you have, Sebastian Joseph Day, you even Shy Tuttle backing those guys up. And then you got some interesting linebackers. There's Cedric Gray, the young kid out of North Carolina, Arden Key, former Raider, great. But this is an interesting defense once again, and I'm definitely joking about that.
No, I forgot the name Arden Key existed. That's
yeah. But this is going to be a tough team to run the football on. I do believe that Bo is going to have to go out there and use his arm a ton in this game. And I'm not afraid of any of these other guys. I'm looking at Amani Hooker. I know they just signed Quandre Diggs, but he'll be backing up Hooker at the strong safety position. Once again, is Snead going to play? He's questionable. So I don't know if he's going to be the guy. And if not, is it going to be Daryl Baker Jr. backing him up? Like at that point, I think Bo Nix should feast. Because I'm looking even with the Raiders, like if Christian Gonzalez is not playing this weekend, we should go out there and Geno should be able to throw the football anywhere he wants.
Totally.
And I'm looking, Jarvis Brownlee Jr., I'm not afraid of a lot of these guys in the back end of that defense. So final prediction, Ben, what score do you have for this game? We're going to get to Darcy after that.
Oh, man. Give me 28-3 Broncos, and we're on to the Colts.
You said 28-3. 20. Oh, shit, a blowout, huh?
Yeah, I think it's going to be nasty, quick, in a hurry. And we're going to eat every second of it up because we freaking believe.
Darcy, what you got?
I'm sick. I actually am very close to that. I got them scoring a touchdown. I think it's going to be 28-7. Broncos win.
Let's go.
Okay. I got it a little closer than that, 24-14. I think that Cam Ward, has a few splash plays here and there and finds a way to get in the end zone twice.
You got to think about it, though. They're on the road. That's another thing. This isn't in Tennessee. They're on the road.
No. And that altitude is already tough to play in. Yes, but I like Cam Ward. He was drafted number 1 for a reason. Once again, that roster is not the greatest that they put around him in year 1. But I think that he's good enough to go out there and to be real, that Ford team, when I say that, he may put up some garbage time at the end to get an additional touchdown to put up 14. So 24-14 Denver. Darce, what'd you have? You said
28-7.
28-7. Okay, so we can all agree here. Denver beats the Titans. I got them by 10, and you guys got them by pretty much a blowout. Let's get to the Raider game real quick. New England on the road. There's a lot of factors in this game, my brothers. Josh McDaniels, the OC with New England, former head coach, right? Jacoby, he talked today, former wide receiver for New England, about, he said he requested a trade. They said no, he's still there. He said he's still going to play because of his teammates. And, I respect Jacoby's stance on this. I've said this since day one. When we drafted Jack Bech in the second round, Jacoby's days were numbered. I knew it. And once again, I know the chat is going to freak out, and this is not me disrespecting Jacoby. Big year last year, over 1,000 yards receiving. I believe he had, 4 or 5 touchdowns, something like that. He's clearly our number 1 receiver, not named Brock Bowers at this point. But I just think we overvalue. I think he's a great route runner, great blocker. He's going to play his contract out this year, you guys. He's not going anywhere, but he'll leave at the end of the season. I don't think that the Raiders really initially I was like, they're going to re-sign him to a modest contract, maybe a couple years, or maybe even just this year, throw him a bunch of, not a bunch, but a couple more $1 million and just make him happy. You know what I mean? Like here's the Max Crosby bag. They gave him $6 million, I believe, a year ago, just to add on to what he was making. I think that they can potentially do that with Jacoby, make him a little happy. But the Jacoby factor, we got Robert Spillane, linebacker with New England. Chasen, they signed him in the offseason. They let go of Marcus Epps, our former safety. But there's a ton. Patrick Graham, Pete Carroll, they have ties to New England. There's just a lot, at stake here with former, guys that played for each team. I personally think that Geno is going to go out there and feast. I think that Genty is going to run the football very, very successfully against that New England defense.
In the goal line too? Is Pete Carroll going to run the ball in the goal line?
Wow.
I think he's learned his lesson, and I don't take that personally, Darcy, because he was a Seahawks.
Not your team.
Dude,
why
that was about
care?
Russ. That wasn't about Pete, dude.
Yeah.
That just shows you who Russell Wilson was.
But I do believe
Former Bronco great.
that we're going to go out to New England. It's going to be a tough assignment. Once again, Tom Brady. Let's put a statue up of him. He's a Raider now.
That makes this all so much more interesting. And it already with 2 brand new coaches.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't do this show with you, that was a game. Like I even heard Bill Simmons talking like this is a game he's going to be watching the whole thing. Cause I think your offense is legit a top 10 offense.
I agree.
I think your defense is a turnstile, dude.
And we're worried about that as well. But once again, we're trusting in Pete Carroll We're trusting in Patrick Graham to figure that thing out. But I agree with you. That's where we are in Raider Nation. We're very worried about the defensive side of the football outside of Max Crosby and maybe a few other guys, but I have this.
But dude, you could win a shootout against Drake May. For sure you could. I think
the thing is, I'm not worried about their wide receiving core. Diggs is coming off a nasty injury. They have a bunch of young guys and Kyle Williams. I don't know if Chisholm's going to play. I think he's questionable with an injury as well. They have 2 aging tight ends in Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper. Not too much worried about those guys. Trayvon Henderson, Chip Kelly won a national championship with him. He knows him very, very well. That was his running back at Ohio State.
Dude.
But he's also third on their depth chart.
He's third on the depth chart behind Gibson and then Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah.
So, but I think they're trying to fool us a little bit with that. You cannot keep him off the football field. This dude can return kicks. He's great in the passing game. With him, you have to monitor him everywhere he goes. So they're going to be a running back by committee with Josh McDaniels. That's what he likes to do. So just because he's third doesn't mean he's not going to get a ton of reps at the running back position. But I'm not going to talk too much about this because I have already beat this game to an oblivion on my channel all week long. I have the Raiders winning this game. This could be a close one. It could be potentially like a 24-17, 21-13 type of game. But I think that we go out there. I think Geno does enough to get it done. I think that Ashton has heard all the noise about him being a bust because of preseason. I think he's going to run the football effectively, and I think the O-line is going to show up for us. Max, big game from him. Big game. I just talked to him today, too. Max is excited about this game. He is excited. Him and then Malcolm Kuntz, a player that didn't have the best offseason. He's coming back from this knee injury where he missed all year last year. And you guys know this, right? I've said this a million times. It's all between the ears at that point. You kind of got to get out of your mind. I'm coming off of an injury. You have to just go out there and play your game. And as preseason progressed, Kuntz started to show up a little bit more. And Pete Carroll has stated that Kuntz is going to be okay. Tyree Wilson, 3rd year, former top 10 pick. He's looked really good this offseason. I'm expecting him to show some signs of life there on that defensive line. But I'm worried about those corners, you guys. Eric Stokes, former first-round pick of Green Bay, is our starting number 1 corner with Caillou Blue Kelly.
And didn't they waive him on the 5th-year option? That's a bad sign.
Durability was a problem. He was always injured. Outside of that year 1, he was on and off the field a ton, in Green Bay. So, but he's healthy right now, and Pete really believes in him. So we'll see how this looks. But to see him and Caillou Blue Kelly, both our starting corners, with Darian Porter, the rook, the 3rd rounder, and DeCam Richardson as the backups, worries me a ton. I'm not worried about the second level of our defense. I think that Jamal Adams, him converting the linebacker, is going to revitalize his career. He's going to get after the quarterback a ton. Jermaine Pratt is great. Landon Roberts is great against the run. So I'm not worried too much about the second level of that defense, but those corners scare me. They do.
Is Pete calling the defense or it?
Okay. Graham still, but Pete Carroll's going to throw that special sauce on that defense. And he's put Graham on the sideline this year. He was up in the skybox, last year. He wants him on the defense, on the sideline, speaking to his guys, eye to eye. So we'll see. But once again, Pete has had some great defenses in the past. But this is the thing. I'm not going to act like every defense that Pete Carroll had, it was great. He's had some bad defenses in Seattle as well. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to act as though he's just this guy that's going to come in and just – when you look at this defense on paper, you guys, you look at it on paper, and as a Raider fan, I can say this, it looks like one of the worst defenses in football.
But, dude, here's what the Denver Broncos last year were the top 3 defense in football. How many number 1 draft picks were on that defense? 1, Pat Surtain.
Yeah.
So when you have good coaching, you get more than the sum of your parts. And I mean, Max was a 1st-round pick, right? And
no, 4th.
Oh, he is really?
Yeah.
How the heck did Max Crosby fall to the 4th?
That year we took Cleveland Farrell in the 1st round.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I would just say a great coach can get more out of the sum of its parts. And my prediction, I think it's going to be 31-28 Raiders, because I do not think you'll be able to stop them, but I don't see who's guarding Brock Bowers, who's Jacoby staying is huge. Yes. Him getting 1,000 yards with some of the worst quarterback play in football last year
Yes.
And now you had the worst running game in football too, didn't you? And now
Yes.
you have Ashton Genty.
Yes.
I think you're going to score a lot of points. All those connections, like they're going to be fired up. And a big travel week as your first game, that's when you want to have to fly across country. Yeah. So it doesn't matter as much as if you're doing that week 4 or something. So
this is a tough 3-week span though, Ben.
Yeah.
We got New England. Then we go back home. We got a Monday night game against the Chargers in Vegas. And then we travel back east to DC to face the Commanders. So it's a tough first 3 weeks, you know.
Well, the National Guard will be there to like keep you all safe though. So that's good. Darcy, weigh in on that.
Thanks for the toss. Man, I don't know.
We got Amari Cooper too, you guys. I love that Fox.
Dude, Amari Cooper looks horrible.
Stop it.
No, dude.
Stop it.
You can. I probably made 10 videos on it. Like that. We thought Debo looks fat. Amari looks huge.
What?
Okay, maybe it's AI. I'll send it to you. You tell me.
Please, it has to be AI.
Dude, he looks so big. I'm gonna throw it in the chat.
He's not starting for us necessarily.
Okay.
So he'll get some reps out there.
Amari Cooper fat, chat?
No.
Is Amari Cooper fat?
Yeah.
No.
Darce, what's your prediction?
Yeah. Ken, he's definitely good shape.
I was gonna say, I feel like I was on the Raiders train, and like I'm still not completely off yet. Yeah, that made me sick. The one thing that's giving me a little bit of pause is last year the Patriots went into Cincinnati and beat the Bengals.
Week 1.
And granted, the Bengals were different, but also the Patriots were different. And maybe it's just irrational. But Graphk, if I'm correct, haven't the Patriots kind of had the Raiders number, or has it been vice versa?
No.
Has it been vice versa?
We've beat them.
So it's you guys that have their number. I remember there was one like you guys for whatever reason like beat the Patriots all the time. Well, outside of
let me say this
recently.
Some back and forth here and there with the Pats. Okay, Ben, I'm gonna check that out too.
Yeah.
I think it is AI though, brother. I do believe that. I'm not saying that Coop is in the best shape because he's coming off the streets right now, you know, as a free agent so late in the game. I know he's not in football shape, but I'm gonna take a look at that. But
yeah.
Remember, recently we have so Chuck says no, they are 6-2 against us in the last 8 games. So but we've beaten them twice in a row. Remember the Chandler Jones, Jacoby threw the pick 6, we win the game, you know, but
Mac
we have
Jones
beaten them a
just
few times.
fell over. Yeah. Honestly, even though I'm a little bit cranky, I feel generous. I'll give the Raiders the win. I think it's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be close. I honestly kind of think you guys are very evenly matched. 2 teams that were dog shit last year, but finally got some adults in the building, should be much improved. And I think you guys will squeak out a win.
I'll say emphasis on dog shit.
Dog shit. It has to be emphasized. I'll say it's hard to crack 30. I'll say 27-21 Raiders.
Okay. I'm here for it. Real quick. I'm looking at this, Amari. That picture?
Click next and watch the video.
Okay.
Goodness,
bro.
Dude, he looks bad.
Yeah, this ain't AI though. But
that's real.
Yeah,
he looks heavy.
But I've seen this. Amari's gonna be okay. But once again, he's not a starter. He's a guy that's getting paid next to nothing this year with heavy incentives. You know,
and did you want him going in a full out sprint in the practice field? Like, what did you want him to do?
I want him shirtless, sprinting hard. That's how Sean Payton coaches these guys. That's why Christian Wilkins left this team. He's like, not enough shirtless dudes here to tickle. I'm out.
Facts.
Clip it.
Clip that as well. Salute to the chat real quick, you guys. Get those likes up there. Wipe them feet on both channels. We are live from my channel, Darcy's channel, and then once again, Ben is going to cut this up and make us look terrible later on his channel. So stay tuned for that. Get some questions in also before we get out of here. But I want to do this real quick, real fast. I think we all have each other's teams winning this week, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah. No, Ben is picked against the Chiefs. And I was so nice to your team. I was nice to your team.
Ben doesn't believe that. He's just going against the grain because
it's if I had to bet my house, I'm going to bet on the Chiefs. But I want the Chargers so bad that my belief will make it happen.
Fun question, Ben.
Yeah.
Your house is on the line. Your mortgage is on the line. Chiefs, Broncos. Who you betting on, buddy?
In Denver or in Kansas City?
We'll say in Denver.
Denver Broncos.
Oh, sounds like you're going to be losing your house.
Well, out of my cold dead hand, Stars. You don't even know where I live. I live rent-free in your head, buddy.
We did this last night on me and Big Mike's show. I wanted to get your guys' take on this. Salute to Pro Football Impacts over on IG. They had an interesting take on the AFC West, you guys. So I wanted to just briefly go over this. They have the Broncos as the number 1 defense, Chargers 17, Chiefs number 19, Raiders 31. Okay. Offense, Chiefs 8, Chargers 12, Raiders 16, Broncos 18. Overall rank, Chiefs 7, Broncos 8, Chargers 12, us 21. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to the Chiefs here real quick. We're going to make this real quick.
Dude, I love that.
Excuse me.
Second,
Who's won?
it has to be potentially Buffalo or Baltimore.
Dude, I would take Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen over, and I take Joe Burrow.
And you know why you say that? Because you're not a winner. That is a loser mentality. That is what a Broncos fan would say. Pick the loser. Pick the loser.
Second, the quarterback position with Mahomes, a guy that's won a ton of championships, and then Booger Picker himself, Gardner Minshew. They had Mahomes at second, Gardner Minshew at 42nd. The running back position, 22nd with Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, Elijah Mitchell. 22nd in the wide receiver position, Rice.
Because Rashee Rice is out.
In which I understand.
Which is true.
The number
That's
one
a good point.
Yeah,
dude,
definitely.
Travis Kelce at 6, that is ridiculous. He didn't even play like a top 6 receiver last year, and he's a year older and has just been taking Instagram pics with Taylor all year. And like, bro.
But look at the O-line that Darcy
said is so good.
Up, 26th at the tackle position, 15th at the guard spot, but first at the center position. And definitely Darcy has been holding that over everyone's heads here at the AFC West round.
I got a small question. Who the hell is Pro Football Impact, and why should I give 2 shits what these jackoffs have to say?
I'm sorry. You know what? Darcy's like, computers, they're just not.
I hate to say it.
Online videos, YouTube will never take it. Who is this YouTube thing? It'll never work.
I agree.
GPT, what is? No one will ever talk.
I
to
agree because
now Darcy's only friends are a freaking chatbot. This is the truth. This is science. This is why you mask up, Darcy.
They had Jamal Adams. They had Jamal Adams as a corner, Darcy. So honestly, I question what these guys got going on over there. Anyway, they have a pretty strong following. I seen this. It was sent to me by a bunch of people. So I definitely wanted to add some content to the show. But defensively, 14 at the defensive tackle position, which is very interesting because you guys got Chris Jones on that roster. The great Jerry Tillery. I didn't even know he was still on your team. The edge position, 24th in football. Linebacker, 12th with Nick Bolton, Tranquil, Leo Chanel, Jack there. Then you got 14 at the cornerback position with McDuffie, Fulton, Watson, Johnson, Noah Williams, which I like him a lot out of Cal, and Josh Williams. 31st at the safety position with Cook, Hicks, and Deion Bush on the IR. How do you feel about that?
I actually think, I disagree with it being 31, but I am a little bit nervous to see what the safety room looks like just because, you lost Justin Reed. They thought Jaden Hicks was going to take over, and I still think that he should, but I think he's still trying to get the defense under wraps. Mm-hmm. So I can agree that that's something that I'm a little bit concerned about, but 31st, there's some pretty bad safety rooms in the NFL. 31st is insane.
Don't worry. You'll see ours here in a second as well. Broncos, 20th at the quarterback position. What's up with all this Bo Nick shit?
Too high.
Oh, you're kidding me, Darcy. You're kidding me.
And they're only there because of Stidham. Show me your Stiddies.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason that they even got to the 20th spot. 24th in the running back position with Harvey, Dobbins, McLaughlin, and company. They didn't include Tyler there as well. Wide receiver, 26th. Sutton, Mims, Franklin, Pat Bryant, Sherfield. Then at 10th with Ingram, Adam Troutman, and Nate Atkins, which is on the IR, right?
He'll be back week 2 or 3. Yeah.
Okay. So 5th at the tackle position with Bowles and McGlinchey, and
good.
I'm not mad about that. 2nd at the guard spot, I can definitely agree here. And they got you 19th at the center position with Forsyth and Wattenberg. So how do you feel about that with the offensive side of the ball, 18th ranked.
Yeah, I love it because I think if you look at the wide receiver and the running back, we think like this is their floor. And
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins was the best running back in our division last year, and they had him as 34th. And so they must have done it based on total yards, not yards per game. So I see we're going to jump huge in wide receiver and running back. And I think our offensive line will continue to be the strength of this team. And then I don't think there's any way Bo Nix finishes the season outside of the top 10.
Hug, I'm going to get that super in 1 second, my brother. Salute. We're going to get the chat here. I promise you, supers, we'll get all of them in before we get out of here. We're going to make this pretty quick. The offensive side of the ball here. Defense, my apologies. Defensive tackle, 4th. I think this is not far off at all. You guys have a really great group at the defensive tackle position. 7th at the edge rusher spot. I'm not mad at this because, once again, we got Max Crosby, and I believe they had us at 12. Linebacker position with Greenlaw.
Too high.
With that injury. Without him, Alex Singleton is healthy now, right?
Yeah, he's a captain, yeah.
So that's a big part of that defense. But 14th, middle of the pack at the linebacker spot. Corner, this is way too, is low.
Yeah.
With Surtain and Barron and Moss and Abrams. I like Abrams Drain as well. I think this is a very, very questionable take here with them at the 9th spot. This should be potentially top 5.
Top 5, yeah.
At the cornerback position. And then it's a safety spot. Once again, you're hoping that Afanga can stay healthy. Brandon Jones is definitely great. You got PJ Locke and Devon Key. 3rd. Yeah. First with the defense. I think we can all agree here. Denver has one of the better defenses in football. So nothing against this. We'll go Chargers real quick. 12th offense. I disagree with this. 5th at the quarter.
How are they a better offense than you, Graphk?
Throw the list out.
I don't get it because everybody keeps overvaluing Herbert year in and year out. 17th, Amarion Hampton, Najee Harris. I can see this. Middle of the pack running back group. They don't know what Hampton's doing yet. What is Najee going to look like outside of Pittsburgh? 13th at the wide receiver position.
Wait a minute.
Dude, Ladd is incredible.
I love Ladd. Ladd. But
yeah, they should be like 22nd, 23rd.
You got a 90-year-old Keenan Allen. Quentin Johnston has sucked. Trey Harris is a rookie, and I think he's going to be great, but that's going to take time. Keandre Lambert-Smith is a rookie. This is going to – I think – is he a rookie? No. He's a vet.
Yeah.
I forgot how many years he's been in the league, but
guess what? If you thought he's a rookie, he's probably not very good. I'll say that right now.
Yeah. There you have it. Tight end position, 25th. So they're pretty much at the bottom of the league with Disley, Conklin, and Rondé Gatson, who I think is going to be a stud. The young kid out of Syracuse. He'll be really good for them at some point. Tackle, once again, they took Slater out. They're 18th. I can see this without him there. 23rd at the guard spot, which is interesting, but I won't argue with that. 22nd at the center position. I think that's way too high. I think they should be lower with Andre James, someone that knows him very well, and Bradley Bozeman. So they have him 12th offensively. Defensively, they have him a little higher. 31st, one of the worst teams at the defensive tackle position. It's kind of looks like a bunch of rotational guys there at the defensive tackle position. Edge, interesting. Kyle Kennard's a rook. Caleb Murphy, Tully is a good guy. I think he'll be a stud. He's still young. He'll probably be that number one option when Khalil Mack retires. They have Khalil at 12th, even this late in the game, coming off of a down year last year. 15th at linebacker, 28th at corner, which I can definitely agree with. I think they're definitely at the bottom. Safety position, they took into account. They got Derwin James, when healthy. He's one of the better safeties in football. Elijah Molden.
I can agree with this.
Yes.
He was.
So Chargers there. And I'll do this real quick, you guys. Offensively, they have us at 16th. Quarterback, 15, middle of the pack. I can take this. I think if anything, if we go any lower, we're somewhere in that 11 to 12 range with Geno and Kenny Pickett. Once again, he has to go out there and prove that he can get it done in this Chip Kelly system. 10th at the running back spot. This is a major jump, you guys, from being the worst running attack in football last year. And you could thank Ashton Genty for that. You know, brought the veteran in, Raheem Mostert, 2 years ago, led the league in touchdowns, over 1,000 yards. But once again, he had an injury-riddled year last year in Miami. This is weird to me. I know that we have a bunch of unknown guys in the wide receiver group, but we have some young, promising talents there with Dante Thornton, Jack Besh, Tucker in year 3, Amari Cooper, Jacoby Myers, 27th. I think that we should have been a little lower at the wide receiver position. I have to keep it a buck here, you guys. I don't like that. 4th at the tight end position.
Number 1, dude. Who? Yeah.
So I'm assuming Pittsburgh because the 3-headed monster, Baltimore and Buffalo, maybe. Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid, and then Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. They have us 4th there, though. I would take Brock Bowers just by himself as the number 1.
And is Michael Mayers actually going to play this year?
Yes, and
dude, because he like a lot of people in Denver wanted us to trade for him when you weren't using him last year.
He's a stud. He missed a ton of football for personal reasons last year, and Chip Kelly loves him. He has hyped him up all off season. We're going to run a ton of 12 personnel. You're going to see those guys on the football field together. So I'm assuming this will go up to like that 1-2 range as the season progresses. Tackle 17th. I'm not mad about this. Guard spot 8th. I love this because we did move JPJ from the center position to the guard spot at right guard. I think we do about that. I hate it, but I understand the thought process behind it because once again, we have Jordan Meredith at the center position where they have us ranked 12th. They've been saying that he's been great communicating, everything to the rest of the guys on the O-line. Him and Gino have a great rapport. He hasn't played center at the NFL level, but they like him there a lot. And JPJ is going to be a mauler for us at the guard spot. So I'm okay with that. But I think that they ranked us too high at the center position because Will Putnam's a UDFA out of Clemson, and Jordan Meredith has never played a snap at the center position. So I don't know what they thought right there. It's kind of nasty. And then they have us one of the worst defenses in football. 32nd, worse than the NFL at the defensive tackle position. You lose Christian Wilkins. Makes sense. 12th at the edge spot. I think that we need to be lower because of Max Crosby. He's healthy. Kuntz is healthy. But once again, they got to go out there and prove it outside of Max Crosby. So I'm okay with that. 24th linebacker, the worst cornerback group in football. And I don't know why they have Jamal Adams there. He should be in that linebacker group. And then 22nd at the safety position with Jeremy Chin, Isaiah Palamau, Tristan McCall, the kid we just picked up from Philadelphia, and then Chris Smith II. So one of the worst defenses in football and a middle-of-the-pack offense this year, according to Pro Football Impact. So
I feel like the Raiders was probably the most accurate.
I hate you.
I'm just being honest.
You know what's really accurate is this take that Hug has right here with this $20 special. We all knew Darcy and Bibb would give us some great insight. Good Lord. Y'all got takes like my Instacart driver who's retired 72 and missing one eye. Shirtless dudes being tickles. Show the Bo Nix pictures in your phone.
Well, I thought you'd never ask.
Salute to Hug, my dog.
One of Ben's recent thumbnails was like a shirtless picture of Bo Nix saying, "We got an athletic freak."
Nasty.
That was it. It wasn't.
What was it? Was it?
No, it was our Australian rugby dude.
Okay.
Yeah. But
next time we see each other, you guys, we're gonna have actual real football.
This is amazing.
We're just previewing here, you guys. We'll get a better opportunity to really break down all these 4 teams in the AFC West next week when we actually see some live bullets. Salute to everybody here in the chat as always. We appreciate you guys. We still have 700 people in the chat. Salute, man. Get those likes up. Hit that subscribe button on all 3 channels. Ben over at Sports Talk Denver, Darcy over at KC Sports Report. Make sure you guys go support our guys. Once again, they're family over here. I know their teams are enemies, and I know they talk a bunch of shit about our Raiders, but trust and believe they got some good hearts over here at KC.
I gave you guys the win. I want credit where credit's due. I gave you guys the win this week.
Darce, what are you doing Friday? Are you streaming? Because it'd be fun to hop on yours if you are. And Graphk, are you streaming the kickoff Friday?
No.
Okay. I'm not gonna stream. I'll do a post game though.
Yeah, cool.
I'm waiting for my team to play some football before I stream. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I was going to go tomorrow. Some people were asking me to stream the Cowboys Eagles, but I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. But Darren McFadden is having a watch party out here in Dallas. I'm thinking I may go pull up on him tomorrow and go watch the Cowboys Eagles.
Bro, your life, bro, is just wild. You're gonna go freaking hang out with Darren McFadden? Yeah. Terrell Davis and I'm sorry, guys. I gotta take this. Hey, TD, it's me, Ben.
You're stupid, bro. You're stupid. Salute to Jason Lane, man, our guy. One of my favorite Bronco fans out there, always supporting us. It's going to be a fun season, fellas. Thanks, Graphk, for hosting. Ben, still the man. You see how he has said nothing about Darcy. I love it.
Well, I think it's going to be a fun season for Graphk and I. I don't know if it's going to be a fun season for Ben.
It's going to be.
Ben, I want to ask you this because I was a trooper last year, on our former show, right? I was a trooper. I showed up every week. I didn't, hold any punches against my own team. When I shit on them every week. I'm like, look, we're going to lose. I got in full blown tank mode last season going 4-13. So I want to ask you real quick though, like if you lose a ton of games this year, man, like, you joined YouTube at the right time, winning program, you've never been through a losing season. Ben, I want to ask you live and living color here. How are you going to accept that? And how are you going to make content around it? Because that's what makes content gods, is being able to cover a team losing and winning and being a middle of the pack football team. So what I'm saying is when you guys 0-17 this year, Ben, how are you going to handle that?
Don't think I have to worry about that. For sure, I will not be here next week when we stream if the Broncos lose to the Titans. I'll have to get it together and then I'll be back then. I don't think I could face you guys. So, I mean, I honestly have been super lucky that I did it at the right time, but from what I've heard that it's the rage bait that actually gets you more views. So at least there'd be a bunch of Broncos fans who are bummed out too. So I don't know, but I don't got to worry about it.
I'm looking forward to it. Salute to Chuck. Look, man, I'm gonna be real. These are my guys in real life. I enjoy just doing these shows with them. We're not looking for another content creator to cover the Chargers, to be real. If one, ends up falling into our laps and he works with the chemistry of what we got, we'll definitely be intrigued by it. But until then, man, we're just going to cover this division, us three, and just have some fun with it, but we'll definitely talk about the Chargers as well, you guys. So I'm hoping that some Chargers fans will pull up and we'll break that down as well. So stay tuned. Hug says running back report. Yes. Coming soon. Monday night, Jalen Richard, me and him will be doing a show moving forward every week. Salute to my brother Spook. A bunch of guys are hyped about it. I don't know if you've seen on Instagram, Amari Cooper came and commented on the picture. Beast mode. I mean, there's a bunch of people that's really, really excited to see Spook, come into the podcast space. So it's going to be really, really dope to get him involved. He's been on the show before, but we're going to start doing a weekly program. So salute to my guy, Jalen Richard. Definitely Hug. Appreciate you for telling me to plug that as well. But you guys got anything on the way out?
I'll be dancing on the Broncos' graves this season. That's about it.
I love it.
Go Chargers.
Oh, Darce, I'm going to be driving out there too. I'm trying to put this thing together. If you guys are going to be in Kansas City, Raiders KC game, let me know. I'm planning on driving out, hanging out with Darce, doing a few shows out there, maybe a preview show, maybe even one after the game, which would be great if we could pull both off before I get out of there. Yeah. If you guys are going to be around in Kansas City, let me know. It's a 6-hour drive for me. I'm thinking about really making that move. So, Ben, man, I know you're not too far, right? How far are you?
Yeah, that's probably be 9 for me.
Oh shit,
that actually could be fun, dude.
Yeah, you may have to. We may have to get out there, man, and hang out.
That'd be so fun. We get it. Can we use ESPN Studio, Darce, if we come?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Even if we don't have a show on the air, we can use that studio.
Dude, I'm peeing all. I'm gonna mark my territory. I'm going to every corner, alpha dogging it.
C Wood's gonna be out there too. So spoke to the team yesterday. He'll be out there doing some Fox stuff. He's going to come in the night before, and then he's probably going to leave at halftime. So I'm going to reach out to Wood tonight and see if I can get his information with what he got going on, and maybe we can link up and get a shot of Woodson whiskey.
Even if we can't, if I'm able to get the show going that week, we could call in. He could call into the station, and we could just talk to him on the phone. Okay.
Well, you know what? Then I'll reach out to him tonight, and I'll see what his schedule is, and maybe we can get that. That'd be great. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. But other than that, Ben, you wanna plug anything, brother?
No, just believe y'all.
I think next time we see Ben, he'll be happy. Nick Benito signing a 4-year deal, over $100 million. It's coming.
Ooh.
It's coming. And I'm waiting
on
Ben.
That money.
Yeah, I'm waiting on Ben to upload that video. I know he's kind of nervous until it's actually official. Don't have me do the video first, Ben.
Well, you'll get the credit. Let's just make it happen, bro.
I'm just messing around. And once again, deserved. Nick Benito is a dog.
I wish they gave him $50 million a year. I can't believe they didn't.
Hey, look, man. Hey, for him to take that kind of deal to stay there says a lot about what he believes, that he believes in the program. He believes in what they got going on. So, You know, that's going to be what's a steal now? It's going to be a steal in the next. You're going to have to revamp that deal in another 2 years, being another, right? Like,
yeah, if I was him, I wouldn't sign it just based off like, why would you? You know, you play because I'm not saying that listen, he's a great player. I think last year was the one-off, and I'm not saying he's going to go to being a 2-sack guy, but he might not get, what was it, 13 sacks
13
again?
and a half, yeah.
So, I mean, and again, he could have 8 or 9 next year, and it's still a solid player, but he might never get to 13 again. So maybe for him, he wants to cash in now, but
a 2-sack guy is disgusting, Darcy. That was really
that
nasty.
in week 1.
Well, I said he wasn't going to be a 2-sack guy, but
but just 2-sack in general is disgusting. I want to pause you just because of it.
Yeah, that sounds really inappropriate, Darcy.
Yeah, like
Christian Wilkins,
like 13 and a half sacks sounds like you're talking about football. 2 sacks sounds like you're talking about some shit that we shouldn't be discussing online.
Some Christian Wilkins stuff, but
but other than that, man, salute to the greatest chat once again in YouTube history. We appreciate you guys so much. On the way out, get those likes up on Darcy's channel and mine. Hit the subscribe button. We will be active every week. Next time you see us, we'll be talking about actual live bullets. Our teams are going to have some wins and some losses, and we're going to be covering it every step of the way, you guys. So salute to everybody here in the building. As always, we love and appreciate every single one of you guys. We are out. Don't do